You guys, this has been the weirdest reading. This is the second part of the reading that I've lost. So the last part of the reading, you're going to see it at the end. As I was recording, my phone switched off, my battery died. So I lost the last 10 minutes and I had the spread on a table. So I kind of walk you through it. And now as I was editing, it's my fault. I was like trying to cut the first thing as I'm turning on the camera, and instead of that I cut the other part, and we lost the another 10 minutes of a reading. But I still have my cards here, so I will walk you through it. But everything happens for a reason, and because it's really wild. These things don't happen to me like almost ever. So I feel like it may be a message in itself for this collective. A lot of things. We have that serendipity card at the end. You're gonna see it. I feel like you're entering this era when you really have to learn to trust the universe. And we started from that in the beginning. Remember that, it was this tower moment, you were losing this person, but then you realize like it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So I feel like you really just need to learn to roll with it. Whatever is happening, you feel like, damn it! But just trust, just roll with it. So I'm going to walk you through what I had on the table, and then the next part is actually the part that I recorded, and then the final one again is just me chatting through the cards. So okay, so we started doing energy of November. What's going to be your energy of November? So your first card was isolation, and it came through with intuition. So I was sensing that you are going to be in a chosen isolation in the month of November, but not it's not just this, it's not the solitude, you guys. It's not just I feel alone, I feel whole by myself. It's more like I choose. I was hearing more socially selective, right? So it's like you're realizing, I feel like with this collective, this karmic ties, it goes really deeper than just relationships, right? Like you really want to heal, you really want to change. You would be in this mindset that you really want to learn all your lessons from that previous relationship. So I feel like you just want a little bit of solitude. And with that intuition, I was hearing to connect a little bit more to you, to your feminine power, because the feminine power, our feminine power is our intuition. So it's just more to sit in stillness a little bit, to figure certain things out, to process certain things. You would be wise, this collective. There's healing that needs to happen. There's certain maturity that you need to gain. But at this point, you would know that when you break it off with someone, you need time to grieve this relationship. You need time to figure your lessons out, to close that karmic contract, to figure yourself out a little bit. So I feel like you intuitively feel that you want to be a little bit on your own right now, that you want to I feel like I was also mentioning that if you live in the northern hemisphere, November is a bit of that month of nostalgia, that month that really calls to stay home a little bit more, to get yourself some pumpkin soup, to get yourself some hot ginger tea, and to really go inwards, to really go inwards and really figure out. You would be smart enough to know that if you are in a moment of change, you cannot jump from one thing to another. You really have to figure out why this didn't work out. What do I have to fix and course correct in order for the next things and the next seasons of my life to really go okay and to really thrive, right? And the next two cards that came together, you have fear and you have anxiety. I'm not, I wasn't worried about this, you guys. It sounds like it is a bit challenging, and this is just a process change, right? This is just a process change, because when we leave a relationship, and this is what I was walking you through, and perhaps I'm going to talk through it more in that part that prevailed today's just madness. I will talk about this more, but this is just about managing change. If you are in a relationship with someone for a very long time, even if this relationship wasn't the happiest part of your life, even if you now know this is a karmic, I don't want this person anymore, it's a closed deal, it's a closed chapter, there is an anxiety that comes with change, right? Because especially if you've been with this person for a very long time, suddenly you find yourself in a different home, or even if you stay in the same home and they move out, you sleep on your own, you wake up on your own. It's a bit of a different sort of a, right? And this, we naturally, I've mentioned this sort of in the beginning as well when we were talking about relationships, but it is, you know, a beautiful thing to be in a relationship with someone, and we feel some level of comfort because sometimes we just need that person for simple human things, because we're sick and we need them to pick up groceries, because we need to move the furniture and we are on our own, right? So it's normal that we fear for future, because now we're gonna have to figure out this future on our own, right? So I feel like you're gonna have moments where anxiety is gonna kick in, and I was starting to feel this really heaviness in my chest, for you, for this collective. I think like I am gonna mention this in the second part. So you may have a bit of a panic attacks, you may have a bit of a fear of your future, what's going to happen to you, but I really think that this is really related. Remember we said this, that your person was a bit of a snake person, they were a little bit not the nicest energy, so they really may have just made you feel like you're not going to make it on your own, like it's a cruel world out there, right? So just allow it to happen. It's normal. You have to transition. You're transitioning into a different life, into a life that you're going to live on your own for a couple of seasons, or life when you have to spend some time in solitude, learn to trust yourself, learn to trust your intuition. So just try to walk from fear towards love and try to roll with it. I think like I'm going to mention more about this in a second part. I don't want to repeat myself. Sorry, you guys. I'm so confused. What did I say and what didn't I say? But again, everything happens for a reason. You're smart enough, this collective, to know that you just have to trust. All right, we have ideation. I want one more. I want one more. All right, pain at the bottom of the deck. I feel like there may be some residual pain, but I feel like you're pretty much, I'm comfortable, and we have trust as well for this collective. Okay, we have space, so we have both space and isolation. So I feel like November is going to be very on your own. Maybe you're going to spend a lot of time on your own, maybe, but I feel like you're going to be feeling both sides of it, right? So on one hand, you're going to be feeling good, because remember what we said in the first part, you're now realizing that your life actually is going to be better without this person, because they were locking your sacral energy. They were really like, they were a karmic connection. In a prolonged scenario, our life is never better in a karmic connection. So you would notice this collective. However, change is challenging. And it's, again, like I said, if you spend many years with this person, it is a transition. So I feel like you're going to be on a fence, but with sort of a, I'm happy I'm lonely, but I'm a little bit anxious that I'm lonely, right? With that passion, to be honest, I was seeing this like this. So that passion with intuition, I feel like you are going to be igniting your internal fire. I feel this person really dimmed your fire. They really dimmed your fire, and you're going to be reigniting your sensuality, your passion. Maybe you've been, you know what I'm hearing, that maybe in like last stages of your relationship, you started thinking that, you know, maybe your sexuality is completely silenced, numb. Maybe you even thought that you're asexual, because when we are in a karmic connection, it's not just when they truly block our sacral. It's not just that we don't want to be with them anymore. We don't want to be with anybody. For some time, we're so locked away from our power, we carry our power in our sacral, us women. This is why it's so dangerous when we associate ourselves with not the right men. Men who don't really like women, men who subconsciously feel threatened by women, by their power, men who they say that they want to see you succeed and they want to see you thrive, but in reality they do, but not more than them, because they want to be superior. With that ideation, to be honest, on top of that fear, I feel like you may be creating some scenarios in your little head in November. It's like, I feel like you're going to be doing it both ways. It's like you're going to be healing, you're going to be embracing maybe a little bit of, being on your own and reigniting that fire, but then you may be going to have days that, oh my God, what am I going to do? There's certain things, maybe certain issues that you still need to handle when it comes to like the separation, the change of introducing some changes into your life, and you're going to have a lot of thoughts, and how am I going to do this, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. But just give yourself grace. It will all be good. It will all be good. And we have anxiety and we have reflection. I feel like this collective, you're mature enough at this point. Mature, maybe it's not the right word. They're correcting me. Maybe there's still some healing that needs to happen for you to fully mature. But at this point, like we mentioned, you already know that this was a good thing. So you're now going to be starting to really look inwards. To look inwards, to really analyze more. What do I always say to you guys? Not look at others, but why do I still feel this way? Maybe there's going to be some fears and anxieties, and you're going to be trying to, you have that dragonfly, you're going to be trying to master your mind, calm yourself down. To like, why do I fear? It's all going to be good. It's all going to be good. It's all going to be fine. You're going to be A-okay. You're going to be good. Just trust. Let's see what's coming. What's coming in November for this collective? Yeah. Two more. Very nice. Very nice, you guys. Your first card is Ace of Emotions. The first thing I heard with this, we have Strength at the bottom of the deck, is self-love. Self-love, self-indulgence, self-care, and that's on top of that isolation and space. You're going to focus on you the month of November, and it's a good thing. It's a good choice. It's what you have to do. It's what you have to do. I feel like your self-love was taken away from you by this partner. And you guys, sometimes for our sacral to be blocked, for our self-love to be taken away by another partner, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are very abusive or very cruel or very evil. Sometimes there are men or women, partners, who are just so self-insecure, so lacking self-love and self-worth, that they subconsciously want to make their partner feel inferior so they can feel a little better about themselves. It's a defense mechanism. It may not be vicious. It may not be very malicious, right? So this person may have been deeply wounded, but it's not an excuse, right? Whatever was the reasoning, I feel like through their behavior, whether it was conscious or subconscious, they were killing off your self-love. They were making you feel worse about yourself. But you guys, I'm going to repeat this one more time. Only true soul connection, soulmate and a twin soul, can amplify your greatness, because they truly understand your greatness, because they vibrate on a same or similar frequency. The meaning, the objective of your karmic is to teach you lessons, teach you harsh lessons, be that reflection. I'm getting like, my chest started to hurt. So And I'm looking at this anxiety. So maybe you even have panic attacks, anxiety attacks, when it comes to like being on your own and having to deal with certain things on your own. Just breathe through it, ask for help, whether it's this friend, just not this crazy divination person. Either sign up for sessions with a true healer that you resonate with, or go to therapy, or ask that friend for help, whatever, whatever you feel guided to do. In the worst days, if you have a good friend, I'm hearing, you know what, you guys, don't be afraid to ask for help. So many people these days, they're lost in hyper independence. If you really have these anxiety attacks, these panic attacks, it's a change, it's a transition. If you really have a good friend, ask them to come over to your house for the weekend and stay over. Because if you really are in this place that you've been with someone for so long, to some people it's really a huge transition to even sleep on your own, especially if you like move to another house. So don't be afraid to ask for help. If you have a healer, find yourself a healer who's going to be available for you in the moments of panic attack, in the moments, right? Because we all, as healers, we work differently. Some very good healers, they have really strong boundaries, right? So they available like on session to session. I myself, because I myself had a healer who was available to me when I was years ago going through my transformation, I resonate with that energy. So when I would work with someone, I'm always available, and I design my time, my schedule, and my sessions in a way so I could do that. It's a very individual choice, right? But similarly with therapists, there are both ways that people handle their clients and how they help their clients. So don't be afraid to ask for help if you need that. If you really get these like difficulties breathing, these panic attacks, just there's going to be a huge transformation. This is going to be a month of forward movement. You have three of wands, you have death, we have justice as well. And I'm hearing both with this. I'm hearing balancing, but also it may be that you're still going to be closing that karmic contract, right? Yeah. There's gonna You guys, I was so rudely interrupted by my battery dying, and it's charging now. I pulled a couple of final cards, but it was important. It was important, so I really want to finish this. My cable is not as long, so bear with me. So what we pulled for you, on top of that Ace of Emotion, was 5 of Voices. And I channeled a very, very important message for you with this, and I'm gonna try to really repeat that, and not forget about anything, because I was linking this and I was hearing that this goes back, to the intimacy between you and your partner. And I was hearing a bit of a bullying, and I was mentioning to you guys that sometimes, remember we mentioned this about your partner, that it may not be that they were very, vicious and malicious and abusive, but it may be that they themselves were wounded. And people who are deeply wounded and they don't have self-worth and self-esteem, their subconscious defense mechanism is sometimes to bring us down, to feel a little bit better about themselves. And it's really painful and it's really difficult, but it is what it is. And I was hearing that you may have memories related to your ex-partner that may start to resurface for you to heal them now, because you're ready. Because you're ready to process these memories to moments when they were really bullying you a little bit and criticizing you. And I was hearing intimacy with that. So it may be something that they've been doing overall, making you feel small, making you feel insignificant. But perhaps for some of you, it was coming through very strongly, maybe because you didn't have, your intimacy was not okay. And I've explained this to you why that is in karmic relationships, but I'm going to say it again. And people, there's this deep level of distortion in the system that we live in, because most people are connected to karmic, so they want to tell you that intimacy is something that you have to verify in the beginning of your relationship to see whether you're compatible with someone. But you guys, you don't, because I promise you that with your true soul connection, twin souls, soulmates, you will always be compatible, because true intimacy is connection of a soul, is passion coming from your soul. It is literally impossible not to be happy in intimacy and satisfied in intimacy with your true soul connection, because you vibrate on a same or similar frequency. And you will never get that satisfaction with a karmic, never. It's always people think sometimes I talk to people, I have sessions with people who are in karmic relationships or been in karmic relationships, and say, oh, it's the best intimacy I had, because you don't really know the real deal, because you've never been in a true soul connection. So you completely misunderstand lust and shallow satisfaction and a simple, getting there, um, and validation from another partner, right? And when we're breadcrumb in first relationship, then we get another karmic that's a little bit better, and we think that it's a real deal. No, it's not. In true soul connection, it's always amazing. And I feel like this person was maybe criticizing you, and it's such a painful thing for a man or a woman when you hear from your partner that you've been intimate with, that you don't know how to do it right, that you cannot never satisfy me, that you don't know what things I like. Again, in true soul connection, you don't have to say to your partner what you like. It's like they live in your head. Before you think about it, they think about it, because telepathy is strong in soul connections. I've done a whole video about telepathy. You can watch that on my YouTube. But you guys, I feel in the month of November, these memories will resurface, so you can teach yourself to love yourself a little better. That it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It wasn't this person. You were just not compatible, because you were not soul connection, because you were karmic. You were never meant to be compatible. You were meant to be each other's life's lesson. And we have 5 of emotion. There's gonna be sadness, but the sadness will serve your rebirth. It will serve your rebirth. It will serve your transformation. Allow yourself to feel that sadness in the month of November. And I think I've mentioned this before, so I don't have to repeat that. Yeah, I've mentioned this. Thank you, Spirit. To ask for help when you're sad. Feel that feeling. Cry. Scream. It's all good. Feel that feeling in your body. Only through feeling feelings and emotions and pain and sadness in our body, we allow our body to release them. This is the key for transformation, to true death and rebirth. And you will, look at this, you have 3 of Wands and you have the World. You will close the cycle. You're starting a beautiful chapter of action, chapter of abundance, chapter of fulfillment. Will it be easy? No, because there's healing that you have to do. But from now on, I promise you, it will be easier. It will be easier. You just have to focus on you. You're balancing. You're closing karma. You have to focus on you. You are now the main character of your life. You are now, I feel like this collective, you probably are that people pleaser, the one that puts partner always first. No. Now it's you. You have to love you. You have to love yourself. You have to put yourself first. You have to work on you. You are your biggest and greatest project right now. That was your lesson in this relationship. To really see if someone says to you, this is what we're all supposed to reach, right? From a place of love and peace and compassion. If someone says to you, I don't find you attractive, you don't satisfy me, you don't make me happy. Well, brother, there's the door. Because who is meant for me, I will make them happy. Just like they will make me happy. That's what we do for each other. True soul connections, especially when we're in a place of light, place of soul, especially when we heal. So now you have to find yourself, you have to focus on you have to heal you. And I pulled a couple of these oracles for you because I was guided to. So the first one that I pulled was soulmates, and I was also hearing 33. So maybe that's important. Maybe you're 33 years old, maybe you live in a number 33 or third of the third. Maybe that's an important date, but I was hearing that. But soulmate, I feel you have to realize this, collective. I feel the next chapter of your life, it's not going to be about love, it's going to be about building your soul family. Really understanding who's your true friend, who's that friend that will come to sleep in your house over the weekend because you feel lonely, who's going to hold your hand through this process, who's going to really see you for who you are. We have soulmates not just in romantic relationships. It's a misconception for some people. We have a soul family that, usually we do have about minimum, there's somewhere out there like 4 or 5 soulmates in this world that they're going to be family members, friends, and some of them they're going to have a potential of becoming, it can be 5 from 15 people. Some of them, depending on a lifetime, they're going to have a potential of becoming our romantic partners, but we can also have the soulmate connection with friends. So I feel like you need to focus on that. We have divine feminine at the bottom of the deck, so I feel like it's your potential. You're going to get there if you really focus on healing and on you and loving you. You're gonna get there. We also have self-respect. I feel like this is the biggest lesson because you've been put down, you've been bullied, you've been treated not fairly, not lovingly, again from a place of wounding. So we're not blaming that beautiful partner. We have to let them go with love and kindness and compassion, but you have to learn that self-respect. I value, I deserve the world, I deserve that soulmate. You have to believe that. You really have to believe that. And understand that who's not seeing your worth is because they're not your soulmate. Bin, right? And the last one was serendipity. So I feel this is just advice for you to go with the flow, really embrace, the signs from the universe, the little moments of joy, the soul family that perhaps universe is going to be sending towards you. Maybe those gifts of abundance, and we talked about this before. So just keep pushing, keep healing. You are on the right track. You are connecting to your most abundant timeline. The hard part is over. I'm proud of you. I love you. You're amazing. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm losing voice. I've been talking too much today. I hope this was helpful. Bye.